Salles here, Patreon Sage. This is part 2 of a reading that I began, a short reading, and you'll recognize it because it'll have the title. That'll include part 1. I don't want to go through that introduction again. If you're interested in the introduction, be sure to watch part 1 if you haven't already. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Lovely ascending beings who are making more and more room for bigger and bigger love. Just happy that you're sharing some of your time with me. Okay, so at the core, the spiritual core of this reading, I will repeat this just a little bit here. We have these 4 energies of, this is my card for TwinFlame, this is my card for Gaia, this is my card representing the ascension journey, and this is my card representing the gifts that we are all being offered in this shared learning opportunity of ascension. Okay, so these are energies are at the current energies are at the core of this reading, which is aligned with the very powerful full moon in Pisces. Full moon in Pisces, September 2019. Okay, so the core energy between you and your inner union, your inner balance within yourself is the 2 of Cups. Both of these cups are being filled within you as part of the ascension journey. All right, now let's get into it. So if you watch part 1, then this is a continuation of that part 1. All right, and this reading is for those of you who are probably just waking up in this new full moon energy, which is going to be a lot of people. So I'm already in union. I've been on my ascension path for 30 years. I have my gifts, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, healing energy, and being able to work with frequency. I've had these gifts now. I began 30 years ago. So I know how challenging it can be. And if you would like to book a private reading with me, a private healing session, the information is in the links in the description box. Sip of tea. Life is better with tea. Okay, so in this journey, where we are now is we have to look at the King of Swords. And the King of Swords for me is coming in. Swords represents thoughts. Swords represents the ability to be clear in communication. Here we have the King of Swords coming in on the heels of Judgment, which if you watch part 1, you'll see what's playing out there. And this King of Swords is the awakening divine masculine. Divine masculines, if you're watching, thank you, welcome. This is the divine masculine awake, or woke, as some people like to say now, right? Here he is, and one of the things that he's recognizing is he's waking up to the deep truth of his situation and the situation of the entire human collective, and he's coming out of the patriarchal male days. He's coming out of the trance and he's pissed. And he's ready to chop some stuff. Now, you can see that his sword is not brandished, but it is definitely right in front of his heart chakra. It is aligned with his bliss channel, going straight up through his body and connected to Gaia. And he has wisdom on his right shoulder, and he's like, tell me what to do, I'm going to do it. Tell me what my action is. Tell me what forms, tell me what forms I'm going to be deconstructing, and guide me into what forms I will be rebuilding. Now, in his awakening, in this 8 of Swords card in this deck, which is the Ethereal Visions by Matt Hughes, I'm a fan of Art Deco and I really enjoy this deck. He's awakening to the damage that the patriarchal male has done to keep this beautiful energy of Gaia locked up, suppressed, disempowered, brutalized, raped, burned as witches, unable to control her own birth or reproductive process. He's waking up to this, and she's been really fighting. I mean, she's here, and she's bound, and she's blindfolded. Her mouth isn't taped shut. She's been screaming bloody effing you know what. And this has finally been heard. The divine masculine waking up out of his trance, and he's hearing her screaming. Screaming. And now he's going with his King of Swords energy to release this divine feminine energy first within himself, which means he's going to be moving into a deep balance within on his ascension journey to wake up and recognize how his inner feminine has been suppressed within himself, how his emotional life has been suppressed, how his ideas about what it means to be a man have been suppressed, how his ideas about what women are worth have been suppressed. And he's going in, and he is absolutely choosing to be an active part of this liberation within himself. And then once he has that sorted out, he is absolutely already stepping up to be a part of restoring the balance between divine masculine and divine feminine in the external world. And he is really ready to go here. So this is part of the current energies of the awakening shift that's happening in this Pisces full moon as we're headed into 2020. Now, we can't miss what's going on the planet. Everybody is waking up to what's happening here. And for the long time, this masculine energy couldn't see, couldn't hear, couldn't feel because of the separation. Now, here we have next the Knight of Wands, and that separation had to do with an immature understanding of sexuality. And so for a long time now, a long time, not being embodied and connected to our full, loving, organic, sacred sensuality, and how that whole expression of sexuality has become unbelievably darkened, tarnished, diminished, distorted. And this is the image of sexuality that our new youngsters are growing up with, right? And we see it now. I mean, we have these incredible revelations of human trafficking and of in current information we have, there are these scandals that emerge of masculine energy, like Jeffrey Epstein, who have bought and sold young girls, and who have trafficked young girls, and who have pimped young girls for their starfire. So this immature and distorted sexuality has been so much a part of the division between divine masculine and divine feminine, and between men and women in the 3D reality. And here we have the Knight of Swords, and here we have the Knight of Wands, and here we have the King of Swords having to take a look at this as well. This is a huge awakening. So divine feminines, just hang in there and just focus on yourself, because your screams have been heard. It's happening, it's unfolding, and the divine masculine will be showing up in this energy, not of rescue, but of recognition. And if you are not interacting with divine masculines who are absolutely resonating at that level, with their hearts open and their minds open and their eyes open, and you can really have conversations with them about their changing perspectives, walk away. walk away. Don't allow your pain body, once again, here we go. I love how these cards just get me going here. Current energies. Walk away. Because this is the glue that keeps you stuck in your pain body. It's offering yourself up again and again and again for heartbreak, believing in a system that wants to tell you that there's hope. There's no hope in this system. This system is dying. It has nothing to offer you. Nothing. So awakening is, you know, this is really when you wake up to the fact that you have been involved in this over and over and over and over again. You have to wake up and take responsibility for your own boundaries, for your own choices, and for understanding that the love that you are seeking from the outside external world, that's another one of the biggest lies. Because the love that you need, the love that loves you and wants you and will open into showing you how loved and valued you are, is inside of you. And it is accessible through meditation, through doing deep spiritual work, and it is not aligned with a religion. So divine feminines, while the divine masculine is waking up and figuring out, whoa, what's happening here? We are also called in this new full moon energy in Pisces to really wake up and see what we have allowed to happen to us. And it doesn't mean that you're responsible for aggressive actions. I am not in any way indicating that you somehow invited abuse or domestic violence or rape, or that you somehow agreed that you're worth being paid less at your job. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we have to wake up and understand what's really going on here. And it's a huge challenge to come out of this dynamic when you're a divine feminine. And remember, I'm talking about energy here, not gender. Okay? So it's an energy, the magnetic energy on this planet, in this 3D construct, has been overpowered by masculine energy, literally 2/3 electrical to 1/3 magnetic. Feminine energy is magnetic. And so when we know we're magnetic, we have to take a look at what we've magnetized. And we have to ask the questions, how did this happen? What's really going on here? And understand that the beautiful balancing of masculine and feminine energy is to not the binary code, the Vesica Pisces of yin yang, but to 1/3 source, 1/3 divine masculine, in this order, 1/3 source, 1/3 divine feminine, and 1/3 divine masculine. And that is a sacred trinity. Sacred trinity. Notice I'm not using the words holy trinity. All right, so that's what else we've got going on here. Now, following this first row is very dynamic. It could take you weeks, months, or in my case, years to work this out, but at least you're going to know what you're going for. Now, here we have the Six of Cups, which is beautiful. Look at this beautiful, these innocent children playing together completely harmoniously, filling their cups with the organic energy of the elixir of life with Gaia. They are not fighting. They are not being competitive. They are not worried. They are simply engaged in creative, loving play. And this deep, deep, deep in our past, deep in the past of having emerged through Source at some point, we have this memory within us. In the child within us who is not wounded, who is whole. and who has a profound connection to source. That's why doing your inner child work is so important, because we do have to unwind until we reach this place. We return to this part of our lives where we're just able to play and be creative without competition and without expectation or any sense of reward. When two friends sit together and play like this, they're not thinking about compensation or reward or who's better. They're just playing. Okay, so once we work through all of this crap, oh boy, don't get me started. I don't want to start cussing. And I'm out. I mean, I'm out of my pain body, but I still am an empath, and I still feel for people who are in this cycle. Okay, because it's a lot of work to get out of here, but appreciate that once you wake up to this, the very next thing that opens up to you is a return to this energy within you, to the healthy, whole, happy, creative, playful, imaginative, innocent inner child within you that you can love, breathe love, bring them back to life, nurture them, care for them, and be the launch pad for the tremendous creative energy that energy is in your life. Now, for some people, this represents a past life relationship. Well, sure, why not? That's one of the traditional meanings of the tarot card. I'm asking you to think about this in a new way. And once you have reconnected with yourself, inside of yourself, with this energy, the next thing that happens is here comes your true mother, the Queen of Cups. The elixir of life, showing up for you. You're like, there you are, my children. There you are. I'm so glad you've worked out how to play together. That's beautiful. Here I come now, and I have a never emptying cup of love. It just refills and refills and refills and refills and refills, because in my love as the Queen of Cups, I am connected to Source, and I am connected to the infinite well of unconditional love. So hi. Wow, great to see you again. And then when that happens, next we have out, in this relationship, we're now vibrating in such a way that Gaia and her 4 elementals open up the entire world of co-creation to us. Because now we're ready to be responsible, loving stewards of these energies. So here we have this fabulous transition. So this is a shared learning opportunity that is on offer to all of us right now. And this really does look like what it's like to live in 5D, which I've been living in 5D. The transition was 2016 and 2018, pretty much fully in 5D most of the time, occasional journeys into 3D. And now living in 5D, 98% of my time. Quote, time. Okay, so we have this happening. And then, when we're invited into the 5D world, it means the death, the casting off of our pain bodies, the coming out of what is too small and doesn't allow us to grow and nurture and prosper and be whole within ourselves, and in living fully sustained on the circle of life that is Gaia and Source and the 5D frequencies. Not 5G, the 5D. So when we reach this point, the next thing that happens is death is invited in. Now, what does that death look like? It can look like many, many, many things. But lastly, here we have a new masculine energy coming in with truth and clarity to assist with this death process. And this is you, Divine Feminine, embracing your inner masculine, who is capable of tremendous clarity and action. Action, action, action in truth. And you too, Divine Masculine. So this is the next part of this journey. Now, I'm going to continue on with this, but that's it for this part 2 of the reading. And remember, this is all in alignment with the Two of Cups, with learning how first we are one, and then we are two, and then we are 3 or more. But we have to get the 2 part worked out. We're not even at the 2 part. We are so separated within ourselves that we are not at the 2 part yet. And this Pisces moon is going to help us get there. Okay, thank you very much for watching part 2. If you're interested in continuing here, I'm now going to go into part 3. And I will link all of these together, and then you can manage your time the way you want to. And I'm doing this full moon weekend instead of doing a long deep dive reading, because y'all are going to be processing. Maybe you have time to sit and watch an hour long or longer intuitive card reading on Sacred Union, but maybe you won't have that kind of time right now because you're going to be doing all kinds of other things. Okay, thank you. I love you. Love yourselves. I'll see you. I hope you decide to take a look at part 3. Bye-bye.